In 2025, TSA intercepted more than 500,000 items from travelers over 60, not weapons or contraband, but normal everyday things seniors have trusted in their suitcases for years. And now, as 2026 approaches, the rules shift again. Tighter, faster, and far less forgiving. That's exactly how Harriet McAllister, 64, a retired nurse from Ohio, found herself standing barefoot on a cold airport floor during what was supposed to be a simple, sunny getaway to Florida. Harry isn't careless. She isn't forgetful. She's the kind of traveler who labels her pill organizer, double-checks her boarding pass, and packs early. But one familiar item, something she's carried on flights since the late 90s without a single problem, suddenly triggered a full stop at the security line. Within seconds, 2 agents pulled her aside, her bag went into a separate lane, and she spent the next 45 minutes answering questions she never imagined she'd face. No alarms. No sharp objects. No liquid spilling anywhere. Yet under the new 2026 rules, that didn't matter. The item didn't break, leak, or threaten anyone. It simply broke a rule she didn't know existed. And Harry's confused expression in that moment? That's exactly what TSA wants to eliminate, but only if seniors know what's coming. This is Senior Travel Adventures, practical, calm, real guidance for Americans over 60 who want to travel without surprises. Tap like so other seniors don't get blindsided at the airport, and hit subscribe so you stay ahead of every new update before your next trip. Item 1. Multifunction walking canes. This issue is surprising a lot of seniors lately, not because canes are unsafe, but because modern cane designs now include features that TSA classifies as dual-purpose. Over the past few years, manufacturers have added small flashlights, hidden compartments, detachable handles, and even fold-away mechanisms meant to make travel easier. But in 2026, those very conveniences are what turn a simple mobility aid into an item that gets flagged the moment it hits the scanner. TSA's updated guidance focuses heavily on anything with internal wiring, hollow spaces, or removable sections, and seniors are feeling the impact at security lines nationwide. Harry learned this on her way to Florida. She wasn't carrying a tactical cane or anything unusual, just her reliable walking cane with a little LED light at the top. It helps her when hotel hallways get dim or when she's navigating uneven sidewalks at dusk. She never imagined a harmless light would pull her into secondary screening. But once the scanner identified a powered component, everything had to be checked: the battery housing, the wiring, the handle, even the joints. For nearly 20 minutes she stood without her cane, watching agents examine the very tool she depends on to stay steady. She later told us the delay wasn't the worst part. It was the uncomfortable feeling of being stuck in place while her support device sat on a stainless steel table under a bright inspection lamp. For many seniors, a cane represents independence, balance, and dignity. When it's taken away, even briefly, it can trigger anxiety or a sense of vulnerability. That's why understanding this new rule matters so much. To avoid delays and prevent your mobility aid from becoming a point of stress, choose a cane with a clean, single-purpose design for air travel. No lights, no hollow sections, no hidden storage, just a solid, straightforward cane that glides through screening with minimal handling. If you rely on one, switching to a travel-safe model will save you time and protect your comfort at the airport. And I'd love to know, do you use a cane when you travel? Type cane in the comments so we can include more guidance that fits your needs. Item 2. Oversized power banks without original labels. This rule is catching far more seniors than you might expect, not because anyone is trying to sneak something through, but because power banks have changed so much over the years. A lot of older chargers, especially the ones bought from discount stores, swap meets, cruise ports, or even those free gift devices handed out at events, don't come with clear watt-hour labels. Some have faded print. Others never had proper markings at all. And beginning in 2026, TSA and FAA screening systems automatically flag any power bank that doesn't clearly display its capacity. If the watt-hour rating isn't visible or the device looks older than current safety standards allow, it gets pulled. No exceptions. This hits seniors especially hard because so many of you travel with backup batteries for emergencies, staying connected to family, keeping medical apps running, powering hearing aid charging cases, or ensuring your phone stays alive long enough to navigate a new airport. And when a device gets confiscated, it's not just inconvenient. It can leave you feeling unprepared, disconnected, or dependent on strangers for help. Losing a charger during a long travel day can quickly turn confidence into stress. Harry saw this happen on her trip as well. A man just ahead of her in line, around 70, traveling alone, had his power bank pulled aside because the printed label had rubbed off. He tried to explain that he only needed it for his phone and glucose monitor, but if TSA cannot verify the watt hours on the spot, they cannot allow it through. The agent wasn't rude, they were just following FAA guidelines. But you could see the disappointment on his face. He had to toss it right into the bin and hope his phone would last until he reached his daughter. To avoid that situation, make sure every power bank you pack shows a clear watt-hour rating of 100 Wh or below. Anything above that requires airline approval. If the writing has faded, replace the charger before you fly. And always keep your power bank in your carry-on, never your checked luggage. That's one rule the FAA enforces strictly. Have you ever had a device pulled from your bag at security? Comment yes so we know how common this is for our community. Item 3. Decorative souvenirs that look like weapons. This one surprises seniors more than almost any other item because it doesn't feel dangerous at all. When you're on vacation, especially in places with rich history, Civil War battlefields, old forts, coastal markets, European villages, native craft shops, you see these beautiful miniature items that feel harmless. Tiny swords, replica daggers, antique-looking letter openers, metal figurines shaped like blades, even bottle openers designed to look like miniature weapons. They are charming, they are affordable, and they make great gifts for grandkids or collectors. But here's the catch, TSA doesn't judge based on charm. If an item resembles a weapon in shape, structure, or material, it's treated like one during screening. And many seniors forget about these items once they're in the bottom of the carry-on. Harry watched this play out when an older couple returning from a battlefield tour placed their bag on the belt. Inside was a tiny decorative Confederate saber no longer than a pen, clearly a tourist item, clearly not dangerous. But TSA flagged it instantly. Even though it wasn't sharp, even though it wasn't functional, it had the outline of a blade. The agents weren't harsh, they were following a rule: if it looks like a weapon, it can't fly in the cabin. The couple pleaded, not because they were trying to bend the rules, but because the saber was for their grandson who loves history. But the agent had no authority to return it. Into the bin it went. Watching that moment, you could feel the disappointment. It wasn't about the money, it was the loss of a thoughtful gift, the emotional weight of having something special tossed away right before boarding. Seniors often take more pride in meaningful souvenirs than flashy purchases, and losing one can feel like losing a memory. To avoid that heartbreak, ship any replica-style souvenirs home or place them in your checked luggage from the start. Even small items that seem harmless fall under the same rule. If it mimics a blade or weapon in any form, assume it will be confiscated. Saving a little space in your checked bag is much easier than watching a keepsake disappear at the checkpoint. Be honest, do you bring gifts home for your grandkids when you travel? Tell us in the comments. Item 4. Large aerosol sunscreens and insect sprays. This one may feel familiar, but the reason it's becoming a major issue for seniors in 2026 is completely new. For years, some travelers, especially older adults with sensitive skin, psoriasis, or photosensitivity, could bring larger aerosol sunscreens or medicated sprays under the medical necessity explanation. TSA didn't always allow it, but they often made exceptions when a doctor's note was shown or when the spray was clearly for health protection. That flexibility is disappearing. The updated 2026 rule removes nearly all discretionary allowances for oversized aerosols, no matter the brand and no matter the purpose. If the container is larger than 3.4 ounces and it's in your carry-on, it won't pass through. No discussions, no explanations. This is hitting seniors especially hard because many of you travel to places where sun protection isn't optional. Florida in winter, Arizona's dry climate, the Gulf Coast, or Caribbean cruises. And those big cans of SPF 50 you've trusted for years? They're almost always 6 to 12 ounces, which means they're guaranteed to get taken the moment your bag goes through the scanner. The same goes for insect repellent sprays, which are crucial in humid states where mosquitoes are relentless. Harry witnessed a woman in her 70s lose 2 cans of high SPF sunscreen she bought specially for her rosacea, both tossed within seconds. She wasn't angry, just stunned. She said, "I've flown with the same brand for years." But the rule had changed, and she didn't know. The emotional sting comes from the sense of preparation being undone. Seniors pack thoughtfully, not randomly. When something gets confiscated, it's rarely a luxury item. It's something chosen to protect your skin, your comfort, or your health. Losing that at the gate can feel disrespectful, even though agents are simply following strict regulations. The simplest way to avoid this problem is to pack only small travel-size sprays, 3.4 ounces or less, in your quart-size liquids bag. Bring just enough for the flight or the first day, then buy full-size sunscreen or insect repellent when you land. It keeps your items safe, prevents waste, and ensures you don't start your trip frustrated. And I want to know, spray, sunscreen or lotion, which one do you prefer? Item 5. Gel-based pain relief cold packs. This one hits close to home for many seniors because it isn't about convenience, it's about comfort and mobility. Gel packs have been a quiet travel essential for years, especially for those managing arthritis flare-ups, lower back pain, knee swelling, or post-surgery stiffness. They tuck nicely into a carry-on, stay cold long enough to ease discomfort, and help travelers avoid relying on airport wheelchairs or assistance. But most people don't realize these gel packs are classified as liquids under TSA rules. And in 2026, TSA is tightening the enforcement around gel-based items more than ever. Here's what's changing. Any gel pack over 100 milliliters is now automatically blocked unless it's pre-declared at the checkpoint. This includes reusable ice packs, instant cold packs, and even the gel inserts some seniors place in braces or wraps. Harry once helped an older gentleman on her flight who used a gel pack for chronic shoulder pain. He had carried the same pack on dozens of flights. But under the new rules, it got flagged. The agent politely explained that even though the pack wasn't harmful, the volume exceeded the allowed limit, and since it wasn't declared as medically necessary ahead of time, it had to be tossed. You could see the disappointment on his face, not anger, just the sinking feeling of losing something that helps him stay mobile. For seniors, joint pain isn't a minor inconvenience. It affects the way you walk through terminals, how long you can stand in lines, whether you choose stairs or elevators, and how confident you feel maneuvering through busy airports. Losing a pain relief tool at security can turn a smooth trip into a physically draining one. Fortunately, there are 2 simple ways to avoid this problem. The first is to pack your gel packs in your checked luggage instead of your carry-on. Cold packs travel safely in checked bags and skip all liquid restrictions. The second option is to bring a short doctor's note or a printout from your patient portal confirming your need for a gel-based item. When declared properly, TSA can screen it separately and allow it through, even if it exceeds 100 milliliters. Do you use anything for joint pain while traveling? I'd love to know. Share your experience in the comments. Item 6. Keychain pepper spray. This one catches seniors in a way that feels almost unfair, because most of the time it isn't intentional. Many older travelers carry pepper spray for evening walks, parking garages, or peace of mind when moving around alone. It becomes part of the keychain, almost invisible after a while. But in 2026, TSA is removing every gray area around self-defense sprays. Even the tiniest versions, the ones the size of a thumb, the decorative ones wrapped in floral cases, or the ones clipped onto a purse strap strictly for safety, will be confiscated the moment they are detected. No exceptions, no "I forgot it was there," no "I've flown with this before." If it's pepper spray, it's gone. Harry saw this happen to her friend Bernard on a flight to California. Bernard is 67, widowed, and very cautious when he travels alone. He keeps a small pepper spray attached to his house keys, something his daughter gave him after he had a late-night scare in a parking lot. He truly forgot it was there. When the TSA agent pulled it out of the scanner tray, Bernard's face dropped. Not because he was embarrassed, but because he felt instantly guilty, as if he'd done something wrong. The agent wasn't harsh, but the questioning still made him anxious. They needed to confirm his identity, check his bags again, and document the confiscation. The process took nearly 15 minutes, and by the time he rejoined Harry, he looked drained. He kept saying, "I didn't mean to bring it. I just forgot. That's the emotional weight seniors carry in these moments, feeling singled out or flustered over something that was never meant to cause trouble. And for many older travelers, routine items become second nature. When you've kept something on your keychain for years, it's easy to overlook it during packing. The simplest way to avoid this situation is to take a moment before every flight to physically check every ring on your keychain. Remove pepper sprays, personal defense sprays, or anything labeled OC, capsaicin, or self-defense device. Place them in a drawer at home or inside your checked luggage if the airline permits it, just never in your carry-on or on your keys. Have you ever forgotten something on your keychain at TSA? Share your story in the comments, you're definitely not alone. Item 7. Loose hearing aid batteries in oversized cases. This is the item that catches seniors off guard in the most emotional way, because it affects something deeply personal, the ability to hear clearly during travel. Most people don't realize that hearing aid batteries, especially coin cell lithium types, are treated with the same caution as other small lithium cells. And in 2026, TSA is tightening that rule even further. Loose batteries stored in pill boxes, snack bags, or unmarked plastic containers will be confiscated on the spot. It doesn't matter if they are brand new or partially used. If they are not in their original factory-sealed packaging, they are considered unsafe for air travel. Harry learned this rule the hard way on her trip. She carries multiple spare batteries because she's had her hearing aids fail at inconvenient times before. Wanting to be organized, she placed all her spares in a large, easy-to-open pill organizer so she wouldn't fumble with tiny packs at the airport. But that pill case was exactly what TSA flagged. When the agent opened it and saw 8 loose coin cells rolling around inside, he immediately explained they couldn't go through. Harry tried to explain that she needed them for announcements, gate changes, safety briefings, things she can't afford to miss. But the new protocol didn't budge. Her batteries were taken, and she faced the rest of her travel day relying on a single pair already in use. Harry later admitted that losing her batteries made her feel suddenly vulnerable, not unsafe, but disconnected. She said, "It's not like losing a phone charger. When you can't hear well, you feel alone even in a crowded airport." For seniors who rely on hearing aids, this isn't just an inconvenience, it affects safety. Boarding calls, gate changes, turbulence announcements, emergency instructions, and even simple conversations with staff rely on hearing. Losing backup batteries can turn a routine travel day into a stressful experience. The fix is simple but incredibly important. Always keep hearing aid batteries in their original sealed blister packs with manufacturer labeling visible. If the pack is partially used, take the remaining sealed cells and leave the empties behind. And keep them in your carry-on, never checked. Cold temperatures and pressure changes can damage them. Hearing aid users, did this surprise you? Item 8. Portable oxygen units with non-FAA certified adapters. For seniors who rely on portable oxygen, this is one of the most sensitive and emotionally loaded travel challenges. Portable oxygen concentrators, often called POCs, have given thousands of older travelers the freedom to fly again. But that freedom comes with strict safety requirements, and in 2026 the rules get even tighter. One of the biggest reasons POCs are stopped at security isn't the device itself, it's the adapter. If the charger is foreign, outdated, off-brand, or missing the FAA-approved label, TSA is required to pull it for inspection or deny it entirely. And when that happens, even if the concentrator is perfectly safe, the missing adapter approval means the device can't be used during the flight. This affects seniors far more than other travelers because many older adults still use older POCs purchased years ago, inherited from a spouse, or bought secondhand to save money. Those older models often have chargers that look fine but don't meet current FAA standards. Harry noticed this firsthand when a woman in her late 70s came through the TSA line ahead of her. She carried a portable oxygen concentrator with a European-style plug adapter because she had recently visited her son overseas. The device itself was allowed, but the adapter wasn't certified. The agent explained politely that without FAA-approved power equipment, she couldn't bring it on board for use. The woman panicked quietly, not loudly. You could see the fear in her eyes. She said, "But I need this to breathe comfortably. I can't fly without it." The agents tried to reassure her, but the rules were firm. Her only options were to check the non-compliant equipment, borrow an approved adapter from the airline if available, or delay her flight. None of those options felt simple to her in that moment. Portable oxygen isn't just a medical device, it's a symbol of independence for seniors with breathing challenges. Losing access to it at the airport feels frightening. That's why preparation is absolutely essential. Before you fly, contact your airline 10 to 14 days in advance and submit the required documentation. Ask them to confirm whether your device and all its accessories, including the charger, meet FAA standards. If your POC is older, consider upgrading the adapter or replacing the unit entirely with an approved model. And always carry backup batteries, clearly labeled, in your carry-on. If you or a loved one uses a portable oxygen concentrator, type oxygen in the comments. We want to make sure future videos support you fully. Item 9. Travel pillows with internal metal supports. This one surprises a lot of seniors because travel pillows seem like the last thing that would cause trouble at a security checkpoint. They're soft, they're harmless, and for many older travelers they're essential, especially for anyone managing neck arthritis, past injuries, or the simple stiffness that comes with long flights. But here's the part most people don't realize. A growing number of ergonomic and orthopedic travel pillows contain hidden metal pieces inside the foam. Some have tiny rods that help the pillow keep its shape, others use thin metal inserts to support the chin, and a few newer designs use internal magnets to hold the pillow in a specific position. You never see the metal from the outside, but the scanner does. TSA is now flagging these pillows more often, not because the pillows are dangerous, but because anything with internal metal components needs verification. Harry saw this unfold during one of her trips when a man in his early 60s had his favorite neck pillow pulled aside. It looked completely normal, soft, memory foam, nothing unusual. But when the agent ran it through again, the scanner highlighted a small metal arc hidden inside the foam. The traveler looked shocked. He said, "I didn't even know it had metal in it. It's just a pillow." The agent understood, but that didn't change the process. They had to inspect it, squeeze it, bend it, and make sure there were no detachable or prohibited parts. By the time the inspection was done, the man looked embarrassed and frustrated. He said he used that pillow because it kept his neck from locking up during long flights, and losing it would have made the entire trip uncomfortable. For seniors who rely on supportive pillows, these moments feel stressful and unnecessary. A travel pillow isn't luxury, it's part of staying mobile and pain-free. When TSA pulls it aside, it can feel like your personal comfort is being questioned. But the rule isn't about the foam or the design, it's about what's hidden inside that most travelers never think about. The solution is simple. When shopping for a travel pillow, look for packaging that clearly states no internal metal components or non-structured design. Traditional U-shaped pillows made of pure foam or microbeads usually pass through screening without issue. It's the modern ergonomic models you need to double-check. And if you're attached to a specific pillow, consider cutting open an old one at home to see if it contains metal before bringing the new version to the airport. Now tell the truth, how many travel pillows do you own? Item 10. Large amounts of undeclared foreign currency. This is one of the quietest but most impactful rules seniors face, and the reason it matters so much in 2026 is simple. Enforcement is getting tighter, faster, and far less forgiving. The rule itself isn't new. Carrying more than $10,000 in cash or foreign currency isn't illegal, but failing to declare it absolutely is. What is new is how aggressively airports and cruise terminals are monitoring senior travelers returning from vacations, especially those coming back from casino-heavy destinations or international ports where the exchange rate makes it easy to accidentally cross the threshold. And many seniors, unknowingly, are doing just that. You don't have to be wealthy to trigger this rule. A few casino winnings, some leftover euros from a Mediterranean cruise, or cash withdrawals made for safety while traveling can quickly add up. Since the limit is combined amounts, including what's in your pockets, purse, carry-on, and even what your spouse is holding, it's incredibly easy to cross the line without realizing it. When Harry was flying home from Florida, she saw a retired couple get pulled aside because they were returning with a mix of pesos, dollars, and cruise casino vouchers totaling over the limit. They weren't smugglers. They weren't hiding anything. They simply didn't know the rules. watching them unpack their bags on a stainless steel table while agents counted every bill hit Harry in a personal way. She said, "It feels invasive, even when you've done nothing wrong." And that's the emotional reality for seniors. You're not trying to break rules. You're trying to bring home souvenirs, winnings, emergency cash, or leftover currency from a beautiful trip. Losing that money, or spending hours in detainment, can turn a joyful vacation into a stressful memory. The fix is remarkably simple. If you think your combined cash might even approach $10,000, declare it on the form before you arrive in the screening area. Or better yet, wire the money, deposit winnings at the casino before leaving, or trade leftover currency before boarding your flight. Ever brought cash home from a cruise? Comment cruise so we know how common this is for our community. Harry almost missed her flight, and she's not alone. And believe it or not, the most dangerous airport mistake seniors make in 2026 has nothing to do with luggage, liquids, or even confiscated items. It's something far more personal, something we'll break down in the next video so you don't get caught by surprise. After learning these rules, Harry breezed through TSA for the first time in years. No confusion, no rushed repacking, no awkward explanations at the checkpoint. She moved through the line with a calm confidence she hadn't felt in a long time. The cane stayed with her. Her hearing aid batteries were sealed and secure. Her power bank passed without a second glance. And for the first time since she retired, she said the airport didn't feel like an obstacle, it felt like a gateway again. She told us, travel after 60 isn't harder, it's smarter. And the way she said it carried so much truth. Aging doesn't shrink your world, it just asks you to travel with a little more wisdom, a little more preparation, and a little less stress. Harry reminded us that every senior deserves to move through an airport with dignity, clarity, and a sense of freedom. She made a point that stuck with me. Your passport isn't just a document. It's a small book filled with proof that your curiosity never aged, your joy never dimmed, and your desire to explore never truly slowed down. Whether you're heading to see grandkids, setting sail on a cruise, or rediscovering a place you loved in your younger years, you deserve to travel without surprises pulling the joy out of the journey. And if this guide helped you feel even a little more prepared, a little more confident, or a little more excited about your next adventure, then it's already done its job. If this saved you stress, hit like. It helps more seniors see this before they fly. Share it with a friend over 60 who loves to travel, because one simple reminder could protect their entire trip from unnecessary frustration. And make sure you subscribe to Senior Travel Adventures. Our next episode exposes the #1 airport mistake seniors make in 2026, and trust me, it's something you don't want to discover the hard way. Stay informed, stay confident, and keep exploring.